The world is changing. Inspiration is everywhere. It has never been so easy to connect, share, and bring people together. We're learning from others and finding the best in ourselves. Challenging our beliefs. Sharing our vulnerability. Overcoming our fears. Transforming ourselves so we can transform the world. How far can we go?
This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is... This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Zeke, Graf, recent graduate of our Speak to Inspire course. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brian. Yeah.
Tell us about you, man. Where are you from? What do you do?
I'm from a little town, San Luis Obispo, California. It's right in the middle of San Francisco and LA on the coast. It was rated one of the greatest places in the world to live, I guess, by Oprah. But anyways, that's where I live, my wife and my family. I run a plastering company there that I built from the ground up. And to stay very busy, have a great crew that keeps me busy. So.
And what was going on with you personally, professionally, for you to seek us out in this course to help you publicly communicate better?
Yeah, it's nuts. Public speaking has always been a very big struggle for me. I never felt like I was educated enough or spoke well enough to get in front of people. I was watching your podcast, as I do so many other podcasts, and I just got stuck on what you kept interviewing and who you kept interviewing. And then at the end, you made some kind of comment like, hey, check out my website, for more information. So I did. And I saw the Speak to Inspire thing, and I have two really good friends of mine that keep telling me this is what you should be doing. You should be telling your story and motivating people on a bigger level instead of just yelling at me all the time. So I hit your course up and I hit send, let's do it. So never knew I would be where I am today in that 8-week or 9-week time frame.
And why were your friends telling you you needed to do this and tell your story?
Because I've pushed them in their life to be better and to do better. We get in this way of thinking of like this normal way, just stay on this course and stay on this normal path and not jump off that cliff. It's very easy to sit on the edge of that cliff and not jump. It takes balls to jump. So I just push them to jump. And a buddy of mine now, he has a business that he's always dreamt of having, two of my friends, because of me just pushing them and telling them they could be better and do better. So I try to do that with anyone around me. There's no reason not to. You're only here once. We get to breathe every morning.
And why London Real?
It's your presence. It's your presence with your interviewing. It's the interviews I saw from past graduates, and I haven't seen a course like this before, so I think I jumped on it for that reason, because I keep being told you need to do this, and I need to take my own advice, stop giving it, and just do it. So.
And what's that big story that you decided to share on this course that really taught people about you and your adventure, and was that difficult to talk about?
It's becoming easier and easier to talk about, but I mean, I went until I was probably 32, until my divorce, before really anyone knew my story. No one really knew how I came up and how hard it was to get to where I am today. I just figured everyone has their own problems. Why do they want to hear about mine? So it took me finally reaching out to those same two people and using them as sounding boards, and them being there for me to finally tell my story. And now it's becoming more and more comfortable to tell it. But yeah.
What is your story?
My story, it's funny. It's more than just me being homeless as a child and coming to where I am today. My life did start out pretty good. We weren't rich by any means, and we weren't middle class. We're kind of in the middle of that middle ground of being right below middle class. But I had what we needed as a family. And then my mother and father chose drugs and alcohol over our basic family needs, and that's when we kind of lost everything, and were evicted in the middle of the night with nothing more than we could carry out of the home into this blue van, this beat up blue van that we lived in, and then we called that home at that point. Lived in and out of hotels, laughed at by friends that would see us sleeping in that van, watching things that a 11-year-old child should never have to see and experience. And then finally just knowing that it was going to be up to me to build the life I want, and to just dig every day to get that life. Making a desperate call to my grandparents to save my brother and I at one point. And then after that, being pulled right back into the whole thing again. It's crazy. I could have went any other direction. There's so many other directions I could have gone into. I was threatened and beat up for not going on drive-bys or not being in this gang or not jumping into this and jumping into that. And I just kept choosing straightforward, just keep going forward. And those choices landed me here today. It's very easy for someone in my position to go that other direction and be accepted. That's what he went through. Of course he's going to be in that situation. But no, I'm here now. So yeah, there's nothing easy about it. But
such a good story, man. It's such an important story to tell.
It's
and so you decide to come and join us for this 8-week program. What's it like for you, especially those first 2 weeks when you get thrown in with this group of strangers from around the world, and you got me coming at you live, and you got this accountability doc, and
the accountability doc scared the shit out of me.
Why? And tell people what is it, and why did it scare you?
It scared me, but it also encouraged me to get my work done as much as possible. That's the difference between this course and other courses that I've taken. As you know, everything I've done in my life, it's self-education. I didn't go to college. I don't even know how I graduated high school, really. I missed the first pretty much year of high school, and part of my was in middle school. I missed part of that. So for me, it's like self-education. So when I took this course and that accountability doc, and all these insecurities and doubts flooded my brain, like, you're not educated enough, you don't have the writing skills, you don't have the vocabulary to do this, and I'm having to write a speech now. So I wrote my first speech, and I remember giving it to my wife and looking at her and going, okay, so here's what I think I'm going to say. And she's like, oh God, no, we have to work on this, babe. And for me to lean on her is huge, because I have a hard time leaning and asking for help for people, because I just figure I can get it done. I can bulldoze my way through it. Yeah. And that's been my biggest thing is asking for help and using criticism as a positive. So that accountability doc, it was, okay, this has got to be done. This has got to be done. I got to do video. I've never done a video. I had to post that live on my own Facebook group. But the responses that I got from it, and the feedback and the love that I got from these same people that didn't know my story, that gave me the strength and the encouragement and the excitement to get it out there even more.
Okay. What was the hardest part of the course when it came to kind of structuring that speech? The hardest element or the hardest thing when it comes to creating that final piece?
The writing for me. My wife would help me write it, and if I read what she wrote or her comments she would make, I wasn't able to remember it, wasn't able to comprehend it, so I had to put it in my words. So rewriting it in my way and how I speak really helped that. And yeah, just being on a video and trying to sound natural as possible.
What about the community? What are these other people like, and what's it like to start off with them being strangers and now see them in person in London, 8 weeks later?
It's great. You saw just us seeing each other, when I saw Marco down below and Deidre coming out. These are people from all over the world, and you start out as strangers, and now I feel like I just want to go have a glass of wine with them and enjoy their company, and to watch each person grow like we've watched each other grow like that is very powerful. Because if you put in the work, you get what you put into it, obviously. And the people that are sitting here today put in the work. Like we want to be better for ourselves.
Yeah. What was the biggest win for you on that course? You know, the biggest success, whether it was the speech or something you learned about how to tell that speech, or I don't know, or something else outside of it.
The vulnerability, I think. Being vulnerable and okay with it. You know, knowing that people do want to hear this. And yeah, being live on video. My phone always screwed up when I was doing my videos, so I couldn't able to record it. All my videos are pretty much live, like Facebook Live. So, and I always did better that way. So I'm like, all right, well, we're gonna roll with this. So.
And now you're good at it, right?
No, by no means, but I feel a lot, my confidence level is huge.
Yeah.
At least enough to keep going forward. You know, I have the tools.
The guys that push you to do the course, what do they think of all of it?
It's great. They constantly give me feedback. Like, I mean, he saw my first video and he's like, "You're done. Just go on with it now. Keep crushing this." He's like, "I can't wait to see after 8 weeks." So, I was just texting him as I was sitting outside that door, going, "I'm sitting here."
And what can I expect tonight from your speech?
I'm gonna crush it. That's all I want to do. I just want to crush it. I visualized every night I went to bed. I visualized myself on that stage, and not just on the stage, but walking off the stage. If you remember the first video that we were live with you on that, and you said close your eyes, and I want you to imagine yourself on that stage, and this is a TED Talk. I had goosebumps that whole time you were talking, and excitement and emotion going through in my body. And that same emotion I would lay in bed with each night after doing this course. And that same emotion now, last night laying in bed and this morning waking up. This is what I'm meant to do. I'm more, I'm put on this earth more than just be a plastering contractor owner. You know, yeah.
It's powerful, man. I mean, now that you know that.
Yeah, to have goosebumps because of someone speaking is huge to me. I take that to heart.
And you're going to be that guy now.
Yeah, as soon as I walk off that stage.
Yeah. Where does this go from here? What's happening with you in the next 2 years? Like, well, you know, that's what I always want to know. What are you planning to do with this new realization, this new talent? You know?
So I've done some work with a couple organizations in the town I live in, working with foster kids, and my whole goal is to just mentor them. I worked with Big Brother, Big Sister, and mentored a child, and then another foster child as well, and just worked with them. Didn't realize the impact I would have on those kids, but now I want to take it to a different level and actually speak to different organizations even more, and just help them, inspire them, let them know that it can be done no matter where you come from. And yeah, it's a struggle, and you feel like you have no one around you, but you have to reach out. There's people that want to help you. So for me, my biggest goal is to do more speaking engagements. I was given the speech at my gym. You know, my trainer, we got done training, then I'm getting rehab done on a hip that I had replaced, so he's been rehabbing me, and he's been talking to me through the whole journey, and he's like, "Okay, so when we're done here, you're giving your speech in front of the class." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, we're doing it." Got done working out, I'm sweaty, I'm a mess. I went in the lobby in front of all the trainers and gave my speech. And people were walking into the lobby, and they were just like kind of stunned, just kind of standing there. They didn't move, they didn't say anything, they didn't walk by, they just didn't listen. After that, one of the clients works for troubled youth, juvenile hall, and she was all, "Your story is every one of my kids that I work with. Do you do this? Is this what you do for a living? Like, will you come down and talk to my kids?" And I was floored. Wow. Like, because you never know who's listening.
Right. And that's you as a young kid that needs that talk, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
because I had to be that person. I had to be strong. My parents were a mess. My brother was 4 years younger than me. Crazy more confident than I was. Probably took care of me some of the times. But I had to be that strong one because it wasn't going to help me breaking down. I had to be that person. So I just want to help someone else have that same kind of strength.
How was that speech in front of the trainers? How'd it go?
It was good. It was good. I had to slow down. I raced through the first part of it. Still working on cue cards at that point. So.
But you did it, man. That's strong.
Yeah, it was good. I felt great afterwards. I felt like I was on top of the world.
It's funny too, like you could have put out a video and it could have got 50,000 views and you might not have got a single invite to go speak to the youth. But when you do it in front of 50 people or 20 people and someone sees you.
Just
like,
random.
I know. And that's the power of public communication. If you can really do it, you'll capture hearts and attention, you know, at a 10x or 100x level.
Well, that's what you do. That's what you did. Yeah. If I wouldn't have jumped on your podcast, I wouldn't have been sitting here today, so. Yeah.
How are you different, man? If we walked out on the street and bumped into Zeke, who didn't take this course, what's that guy like compared to this one?
The same guy. I've always had the same passion. I probably have too much passion when I talk to some people and I get so fired up, like just come on, let's go, let's get on it. I have that same, but I think I have more confidence now. I talked to 2 people just going down. The tailor down the road, I talked to him. He heard my story and he's like, shook my hand. He's like, this is amazing, this is great. I know London Real, that's awesome. Wow. I talked to the guy running the shelter down here. He was on the street asking for donations or asking for signups. Sat and talked to him. I'm just eager.
All of you grads are vibrating on this energy level. It's like, man.
Yeah. I walked by him and the guy from the shelter, Omar, I walked by him and he said something, I had headphones in. And I said, no. I turned around. I'm like, no, I'm going to go talk to him. So I sat and chatted with him for like 20 minutes. Wow. I don't know if I would have done that otherwise. You know?
I love about you, Zeke, is that you look like this all-American kid. And when people hear your story, you realize that you're not. And you went through some real difficult times and that you got a bunch of lessons for all of us. And the fact that you're willing to do that is powerful, you know?
Yeah.
And you can help a lot of people doing this, you know? So I'm looking forward to where you want to take this. And looking forward to being a part of it in any way we can. And I'm looking forward to this speech tonight. Yeah. All of you guys are going to turn this place on fire. There's a lot of energy.
There's big shoes to fill in this. I'm hoping to go first, so I don't have to go up after each person.
But look, man, this is really powerful stuff you're on, and welcome to the family of London Real. You got all these people that got your back for the next as many years as you want, and just take this as far as it can go, man. You know, from this to the TED Talk to the youth centers to the book to whatever, man.
The book will come.
Good.
I've been slowly writing that this year, and the wife's pushing me constantly to keep writing it. So
good. To anybody who's out there who's watching us and thinking, I don't know if I could ever public speak, or I don't know if the course is right for me, what would you say to them?
Just jump. What are you're going to regret not doing it? Everybody has this regret. It's like the gym for me. I'm going to regret not going. I'm not going to walk out of the gym going, oh God, really regret going today. That was crap. No. What else are you going to do? Just keep doing the same thing every day? No, push yourself. Every chance you have. What if you don't have a chance tomorrow?
Yeah.
It's worse if you don't do it. You know? Look who you could touch. Look who you could help.
Yeah. Look at what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
Good, dude. It's been a pleasure having you on the course. I know I called you out a bunch on the course, but it's just because I see you and see what you can do, and your story really resonated. So looking forward to hanging out with you for the whole weekend, and just I can't wait to see what you're going to do with this. All right. Yeah. So all the best. All right.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
At London Real, we believe that individual transformation can change the world. Join us and start your journey today.